Last week, I watched a woman walk into a boardroom and within minutes, every executive was hanging on her every word. She wasn't the most senior person there, she wasn't the loudest, but something about her presence commanded instant respect. Later, I found out she makes half what some of those men make, yet they treated her like she was running the meeting. This isn't rare. I see women like this everywhere, at networking events, in social settings, even at the grocery store. They have something most of us don't, and it's not what you think. It's not confidence, it's not charisma, it's 10 specific behaviors that signal high value to everyone around them. Today, I'm revealing exactly how they do it, including some techniques that might disturb you because they require you to stop being everyone's helper and start being someone worth helping. Are you ready for that shift? The first thing you'll notice about women in high society is their approach to pursuit. They simply don't do it. Not with relationships, friendships, or even professional opportunities that aren't reciprocating their interest. This goes against everything most of us have been taught about going after what we want. But these women understand something crucial about human psychology. The moment you chase someone who's pulling away, you've shifted the power dynamic against yourself. They operate from a place of genuine self-worth, not manufactured confidence. When someone doesn't return their call, cancels plans repeatedly, or shows lukewarm interest, they don't try harder. They redirect their energy toward people who are actively showing up. This creates an interesting phenomenon. Because they're not chasing, people start wondering why. Because they're comfortable walking away, others become more invested in keeping them around. It's counterintuitive but incredibly effective. Starting today, match people's energy instead of trying to elevate it. If someone takes 2 days to respond to a text, wait 2 days before responding back. If a friend keeps canceling, stop extending invitations. If a business opportunity requires excessive convincing, move on to the next one. Your action step right now is to identify one person or situation where you've been chasing. Pull back your energy for the next week and notice what happens. Don't announce it, don't explain it. Just quietly redirect your attention to people who are actively showing up for you. One thing you'll immediately notice about these women is that they always look like they belong in the environments they want to access, even if they're not technically there yet. This isn't about expensive clothing. It's about understanding the psychology of first impressions. They research the dress codes and cultural expectations of every environment they enter. If they're networking in finance, they dress like they already work in that industry. If they're attending a high-end event, they look like they could be hosting it themselves. The sophistication lies in making it look effortless. They choose pieces that fit impeccably, colors that enhance their natural features, and accessories that complement rather than compete with their overall look. They understand that grooming often matters more than the price tag on their clothes. Perfect hair, clear skin, and good posture can make an affordable outfit look expensive, while poor grooming can make designer pieces look cheap. Look at your current wardrobe and ask yourself, does this represent where I want to be in 5 years? Start building a capsule wardrobe of pieces that make you look and feel like the successful woman you're becoming. Focus on fit, quality basics and impeccable grooming rather than trendy pieces. Before any important event or meeting, research what successful people in that environment wear and dress accordingly. You'll be amazed at how differently people treat you when you look like you belong in their world. By the way, if you're getting value from these secrets, hit that like button now, so I know you want more content like this. One of the most underrated tools in their arsenal is strategic silence. While most people feel compelled to fill every pause in conversation, these women are comfortable letting others do the talking. This isn't about being rude or disengaged. It's about understanding that silence creates space for others to reveal more than they intended. When you're not rushing to respond or defend yourself, people often share information that gives you significant advantages in negotiations, relationships, and social situations. They've learned that the person who talks the most isn't necessarily the most influential in the room. Often it's the person who listens with intention and speaks only when their words will create the most impact. When faced with criticism or confrontation, they don't immediately defend themselves. They might pause, consider, and respond hours later with something thoughtful, or they might not respond at all. This measured approach makes them appear unshakable and in control of their emotions. Practice the 3-second rule this week. Before responding to anything emotionally charged, count to 3. Before jumping into conversations, listen first. Before sharing your opinion, ask yourself if it truly adds value or if you're just filling silence. Notice how this changes the dynamic of your interactions. People will start sharing more with you, and your words will carry more weight when you do speak. Women in elite circles have a distinctly different relationship with male attention. They appreciate it when it comes naturally, but they never appear desperate for it or use it as a measure of their self-worth. This approach actually makes them more attractive to high-quality men because desperation and neediness repel the kind of partners they want to attract. Confident, successful men are drawn to women who seem complete and fulfilled on their own. They never chase men who aren't actively pursuing them. If someone's interest seems lukewarm or inconsistent, they assume he's not truly interested and redirect their attention elsewhere without drama or lengthy explanations. When they are in relationships, they maintain their independence, interests, and friendships. They don't disappear into romantic partnerships or make their partner the center of their universe, understanding that maintaining your own identity makes you more attractive, not less. If you're single, stop chasing lukewarm men. If someone isn't pursuing you actively and consistently, assume he's not that interested and focus your energy elsewhere. If you're in a relationship, make sure you're maintaining your own interests, friendships, and goals outside of your partner. Build a fulfilling life that doesn't depend on male attention for validation. When you're genuinely happy and complete on your own, you attract partners who want to add to your life, not complete it. Perhaps the most defining characteristic of these women is their unwavering sense of self-worth. They've done the internal work to understand exactly what they bring to any situation, and they never apologize for it or minimize it to make others comfortable. This shows up in how they price their services, choose their relationships, and respond to opportunities. They don't accept less than their worth just to avoid conflict or to make others happy. They understand that when you undervalue yourself, you teach others to do the same. They've built evidence of their worth over time through their achievements, skills, and contributions. Because they have concrete proof of their value, they never question whether they deserve what they're asking for. When someone tries to negotiate them down or treat them as a backup option, they don't get emotional or argumentative. They simply redirect their attention to people who recognize and appreciate what they offer at full value. Write down 5 specific things you bring to your relationships, your work, and your social circles. These could be skills, qualities, experiences, or ways you support others. Keep this list somewhere you can see it daily. When you start doubting your worth, read it and remind yourself why people are lucky to have access to you. Stop accepting treatment that doesn't match your value. If someone consistently treats you like an option, make yourself unavailable to them. Here's something that might surprise you. These women rarely engage in arguments or confrontations. Not because they're avoiding conflict, but because they've learned that arguing is usually an inefficient use of time and energy. Instead of trying to change people's minds or defend their positions, they have a different strategy. They quietly remove themselves from situations and people that don't align with their values or treat them appropriately. They understand that you can't reason with unreasonable people, and that trying to convince someone of your worth often has the opposite effect. So when faced with disrespect or drama, they don't fight back. They simply become less available. This approach is remarkably effective because it forces people to experience the consequences of their behavior without creating additional drama or conflict. When someone realizes you're no longer responding to their calls or including them in your plans, they usually understand the message. The next time someone disrespects you or tries to drag you into drama, resist the urge to defend yourself or argue your point. Instead, become less available to that person. Don't respond immediately to their messages. Don't include them in your plans. Don't engage with their negativity. Watch how quickly people change their behavior when they realize access to you isn't guaranteed. This silent boundary setting often has more impact than any argument could achieve. These women understand that they are their most valuable asset, and they invest in themselves accordingly. They don't feel guilty about spending money on things that improve their skills, health, appearance, or opportunities. Professional development, quality healthcare, personal training, therapy, courses, and networking events are all seen as necessary investments rather than luxury expenses. They understand that these investments compound over time to create significant returns. They also invest in their appearance and presentation, not out of vanity, but because they understand the reality of how the world works. People make quick judgments based on how you look and present yourself, and these women use this to their advantage. Set aside a specific amount each month for investing in yourself, whether that's a course, a networking event, better skincare, or professional coaching. Treat this investment as non-negotiable, just like paying your rent. Ask yourself, what's one skill or improvement that would have the biggest impact on your life in the next year? Then figure out how to invest in developing that area, even if it means sacrificing other expenses. These women approach relationships with the same intentionality they apply to everything else. They understand that your social circle directly impacts your opportunities, mindset, and personal growth. So they're very deliberate about who gets their time and energy. This isn't about being manipulative or fake. It's about recognizing that every relationship should add value to your life, whether through emotional support, intellectual stimulation, professional opportunities, or genuine joy. They actively seek connections with people who are where they want to be or who share their values and ambitions. They attend events, join organizations, and put themselves in environments where they're likely to meet like-minded individuals. But they also understand that networking is about mutual benefit. They're always considering what they can offer others: introductions, support, advice, or opportunities. They build their reputation as someone who adds value to every relationship. Take inventory of your closest 5 friends right now. Are they supporting your growth or keeping you comfortable? Are they where you want to be, or are they pulling you backward? This doesn't mean you need to cut people off, but you might need to spend less time with energy drains and more time with energy gains. Make a list of 3 types of people you want to connect with this year and research where those people gather. Then show up consistently and focus on what you can give, not what you can get. These women have fundamentally different money relationships than most people. They think like investors rather than consumers, focusing on acquiring things that appreciate in value or provide long-term benefits rather than immediate gratification. This mindset shift changes everything about how they make purchasing decisions. Instead of looking for the cheapest option, they consider cost per use, quality, and how each purchase moves them closer to their goals. They're willing to invest more upfront for items that will serve them better over time, whether that's a well-made coat that will last for years, a course that develops valuable skills, or networking events that could lead to career opportunities. They also understand that your financial problems determine your peer group. If you're always discussing money stress and budget constraints, you'll attract others with similar concerns. If you're talking about investments and growth strategies, you'll connect with people who think abundantly. Before making any purchase over $50 this month, ask yourself 3 questions. Will this appreciate in value? Will this move me closer to my goals? What's the cost per use over the next year? This simple filter will completely change what you spend money on. Start replacing consumer thinking with investor thinking. Instead of asking, how cheap can I get this? Ask, what's the best long-term value? Your future self will thank you. The final secret is perhaps the most sophisticated. These women have learned to be genuinely warm and approachable while maintaining clear boundaries about what they will and won't accept. They can be kind without being a pushover, generous without being taken advantage of, and friendly without being everyone's best friend. This balance makes them magnetic because people feel comfortable around them, but also respect them. They're genuinely interested in others and skilled at making people feel heard and valued in conversations. But they also know when to say no, when to pull back, and when to protect their energy from people who drain it. They understand that boundaries aren't walls, they're gates with them as the gatekeeper. The right people respect these boundaries and actually feel more comfortable knowing where they stand. Practice saying no without over-explaining this week. When someone asks you to do something you don't want to do, simply say, "That doesn't work for me," or "I won't be able to do that," without providing a detailed justification. Notice how this changes your relationships. The right people will respect your boundaries, while the wrong people will reveal themselves by pushing back. These 10 secrets aren't really about joining high society. They're about developing the mindset and behaviors that create success and fulfillment in any environment. The fascinating thing is that all of these principles are available to you right now, regardless of your background or current circumstances. I want to hear from you. Which of these secrets hit you the hardest? Which one are you going to implement first? Drop a comment below and let me know, because I read every single one and often respond with additional tips based on your specific situation. If this video helped you see things differently, I'd love it if you subscribed. There's always more to discover about becoming your most confident self. Remember, true confidence isn't about perfection. It's about knowing your worth and being willing to honor it, even when it's uncomfortable or challenging. Until next time, keep growing, and remember, you already have everything you need to transform how you show up in the world. The only question is, are you ready to use it?